The Flash movie was exposed to a lot of problems before it was shown in the cinema. It was based on 4 directors, and the story was rewritten 4 times. Even the hero of the film, Ezra Miller, was subjected to a lot of accusations, to the point of starting psychotherapy. And Michael Keaton's performance always stuck out in my mind due to his commitment to the role. If the studios cared about Batman as much as Keaton did, we would already have a legendary trilogy. So was the movie good despite all the problems that DC was exposed to? But in the beginning, for those who do not know the story of this movie, I will tell you about it. What's the story? Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere.
So in this video, I will talk about 5 topics. In the beginning, I will talk about what you should know before watching The Flash. Then about the characters. What are the strong personalities that you will love? And what are the characters that you will not like? And maybe you will hate some character, then you will talk about the positive and negative points in the movie. So this video will be a fatty meal of fun. Prepare your favorite drink, and let's get started. What you should know before watching The Flash? 1. The Flash movie is directed by Andy Muschietti, and the star is Ezra Miller as Barry Allen slashes The Flash. 2. There are some movies that you should watch before watching The Flash in order to be connected with some characters and know some details and get the best experience watching the movie. In the beginning, it is preferable to watch the movie Batman 1989 and 1992. These 2 movies are optional, meaning you can watch The Flash without watching Batman movies. But in order to link with the character of Michael Keaton is the version of Batman that will appear in the movie. As for these 3 movies you should watch, The Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman and Justice League Snyder Cut. 3. The movie is based on the Flashpoint storyline, seeing Barry travel back in time to prevent his mother's murder, resulting in a drastically altered DC universe. I have a request. I wish with all my heart that you subscribe to the channel. We get tired of writing scripts and editing videos, but we do not get views. But I will continue to download videos because I love what I do. But if you subscribe to my channel, I will be pleased. The characters. Ezra Miller is obviously the focal point of The Flash, and just to quickly address this, the discussion of art and artist and the separation of the 2 is a very complex discussion. I will say that anything that occurred off-screen has no bearing whatsoever on my opinion of this movie or Ezra Miller's performance in this movie. Instead, I will say that I hope that Miller continues their journey and that any appropriate restitution is made. Miller, who plays not just 1 but 2 Barry Allens in this movie, is actually very much at the center of it. After The Flash's rocky road, it's nice to see the character given a consistent characterization and some room to grow apart from justice. By the end, I really love this version of Barry Allen because although the elder Barry carries the weight of a past he's trying to forget, the younger Barry has a zany energy that Miller nails without going over the top. As it was shown in the trailer, Michael Keaton dons the suit once more and returns as Batman. Now he's outstanding in this, and when we first meet him, it was just an excellent introduction. It's not necessarily what you'd expect, but it was exciting and funny. And it also serves as a way to begin to explain the multiverse lore for the story. The story does a good job of establishing Supergirl as someone who occasionally might need occasional help, which then raises the stakes in terms of her interactions with the Flash. In place of the Man of Steel, Sasha Calle plays Supergirl, and she is fantastic. I mean, she's vicious and tough, and then we get to see a different side, allowing her to be more nuanced and approachable. Is it any weak? Now we're gonna get into the negatives. Own the story. After that first act that starts off so strong, and it is promising for the rest of the film, the movie began to take a nosedive. Jokes became unfunny. They really swung for the fences far too many times. In Cross the Spider-Verse is one of, if not the best multiversal stories we've ever gotten on the big screen. But yeah, The Flash just ain't it. Nothing felt inspired in this movie, and the cameos couldn't even save the thing. Almost every other line is a joke, and then I thought, well, what are we doing here? Where's that balance from the first 30 minutes? And it just kind of evaporates. 2. The CGI. The CGI is terrible and lackluster in a lot of spots. When we see the Flash in the multiverse space, we're shown scenes from his timeline. But these all appear to be computer-generated rather than using actual scenes themselves. In some cases, the imagery looks unfinished, even though the version I saw was the finished version. I knew this was going to be a CGI-heavy story because it's a character trait for them to just have lightning and energy streaks coming off of them as they speed around. And honestly, those portions looked fine. I didn't really have an issue when we watched the Flash do his thing. But when the action got bigger or more complex, the graphics became more distracting. So many of the faces looked just like bad deep fakes, which then immediately broke me out of the world. I think that the most beautiful part when watching a movie is discussing the topic with other people. So tell me what you think about The Flash. What did you like about the movie and what did you hate about the movie? And how much do you give the movie out of 10? I will tell you in my rate at the end of the video. Is it any good? So let's go ahead and start on an optimistic note, because I don't like to be too negative on this channel. 1. Michael Keaton. If you're going to see The Flash just because you love Michael Keaton as Batman or because you love nostalgia, you're going to be very pleased with what he does in the role. In fact, I think he's the most dynamic actor in the picture. However, we only get to see him for a small portion of the film. However, I will say that I like this old man Bruce Wayne approach. Michael Keaton just proves why he's one of the best on-screen Batmen that The first act is really solid, and the jokes were landing for me. I was having fun with the first 30 minutes of this film. What is my rate? In the end, it was a good movie. I advise everyone to watch it as soon as possible. My rate for the movie is 7 out of 10. Do not forget to tell me how much you rate the movie out of 10. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel to receive all new. Peace.